Oh, hello everyone and welcome to my review of Tiny Epic Defenders. This is the second edition, so I think we should get straight to this. If you have played the first edition, then well, there'll be some kind of changes in it, only just some. And I have to say that if you haven't even played any of the Tiny Epic games, don't worry, these boxes are amazingly sturdy, really thick. I do like these boxes. They're just so good and they would last for a very long time, I can guarantee you this. And it's a game for 1 to 4 player as well, or should it be 1 to 4 players? Well, 1 player or 2 to 4 players. Let's just get straight to it, shall we? We'll start off with the rule book, and as we open it up we have components. I do like my components, and it's right on the next page. I mean, sometimes it's on the like page like 3 or sometimes 4, but this is straight on to page 2. Well, some people don't call this page 1, but who knows. Anyway, it's a very quick, simple read. The wording isn't small. It's actually kind of normal, really, and you have these huge, nice example of setting up, and really big. Yeah, we're already halfway through the book already. No, seriously, it's really good. And yes, like I said, these big, giant size pictures on like how things are explained a little bit more in detail. Gameplay overview, drawing Gamelyn for victory or defeat, and actions for your defenders. It tells you on how to use these abilities. I mean, yeah, you get into the epic foes and enemy cards. The epic foes is your boss that you got to kill or defeat, sorry. And yeah, it just tells you a little bit more about dire enemy cards and artifacts, which is quite nice in this game. It's if you played Tiny Epic Quest, then you're dealing with item meeples here, so I do like that. Quick, simple book, yeah. Considering on other rule books. Well, actually, to be fair, it is a D&D book, so yeah. Huh. Well, anyway, and yeah, so it tells you how to deal with revealing the epic foe as well, and you'll also have the very last bit, which is solo variant rules. And on the back, a little bit more artwork and credits and honorary producers that helped create this game, which is, you know, that's what it's there for. It's really nice. The game comes with 10 defenders, and they're all quite different, although each one still does exactly the same as all the others when it comes down to using up their abilities and all that stuff. But they do have, well, when I say abilities, I mean everyone has like move and use some abilities and fighting the epic foes, but everyone has their own special defender's ability. And each one is all different from that point of view, although we do have someone who's actually got 5 health, then everyone that has 4. Don't worry, as soon as your health goes down to 0, you are not out of the game. You carry on playing. You just need to well, heal, really, in order to do other things. So there you go. Even though that not health, you're not out of the game. I like that. That's good. The game comes with 7 region cards. Well, let's just say that these are just, well, cards that you could just go to, moving your defender here and there. The capital city is always placed in the centre, and everything else is kind of shuffled and randomised just around in a small circle, and you just move your meeple from left or right of where the regions are. That's pretty simple as well, and each one has their own ability, and they're also double-sided, which means you can have side A or side B, and it doesn't doesn't like mean you have to have all side A's or all side B's. You can have mixtures, and they all have like different types of different abilities that you can use as well in the game, which I find really nice. Also, the bits on the side is where things can go horribly wrong. So you want to make sure that this damage, as it were, just doesn't reach to the top, which means the region is kind of lost, and any damage that goes into this area goes to your capital city, and if your capital city reaches all the way to the very top, it's game over, which is something that you've got to prevent. That's why you've got to try and defeat the epic boss. Next comes up the turn deck, horde deck, and leftover cards. Well, I wouldn't say leftover cards deck because it's not actually a deck. Anyway, what happens is that you grab these cards. Well, you don't grab them all. You've got to put them into separate piles. Some of them be enemy cards, some of them be dire enemy cards, and some of them will be defender cards. And you just create a turn deck. And some of them will be called the horde deck. So when the turn last card from the turn deck is over, you actually place another card from the horde deck into the turn deck, etc, etc, until you get to fight the epic boss. That's how you well, epic foe, sorry, that's what it's really called. Well, last card you get to actually try and attempt to face the epic foe and either win or completely lose, or you could actually lose before you even fight the epic foe. So I'm going to go ahead and show you just some of these. So if I turn over this card, this is what's called an enemy card, and the first region will take damage in this area, then the next one will take damage in that area, and as you have a defender in those areas where you could actually absorb that damage. And yet again, turn it over card, damage, then damage, then. We also have these are what's called the dire enemy cards, which are a bit more tougher than just normal enemies. Yeah, and they could be quite dangerous. Although, if you do manage to defend against them, well, you would take damage. You can actually gain an artifact from them, just like these giant wasps as well. They also have different abilities as well. So that's kind of scary, but hey ho, it's kind of straightforward, really. The other type of cards are the defender cards. So if you get something like the all defenders, then 1, 2, and 3 players. That's a 3-player card. All the defenders get to take their turn, one at a time, or a specific colour. And in this game, you get 4 colours. So if your green defender card comes up, then that's when you get to take your go and do all these specific actions that you could do. Here are the 4 colour meeples that you get to choose. It doesn't really matter what kind of colour you are. I mean, you just pick whatever favourite colour you want to be, and then you just have to wait until your turn comes up. Now then, you have the artifact cards. This is where you defeat a dire enemy, or well, defend against a dire enemy, and after that you draw one of these cards and you go, Spear of Valor. Find the Spear of Valor, which is this one right here, and equip it on your meeple. Just like that. It's pretty simple. If you defeat another one, you get like Shield of Agmor. Let's just say that the blue one actually defended against that. And one more, how about Zodiac Cloak, which is this one right here, which is a back item. Let's just say that the yellow one defended against that one, and it just literally goes into the back. Done. That's pretty simple, actually. I like that. It's just, if you have played Tiny Epic Quest and then you're quite familiar with these item meeples, they're really, really nice. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty simple, seriously. We'll just have some, well, little counters here. So when you pick your colour meeple, you also get your health token. We also have a few of these damage counters. And we also have this black heart, which is for the epic foe card, because they have health too. Yeah, so that's pretty straightforward there. This game comes with 6 epic foe cards, and well, they're kind of scary. I mean, each one does their own type of ability, and some of them has 2 different types of abilities. So some of them, here you go, if I give you a closer look, will have these well, it's flaming skull kind of symbols, and well, this is where the second ability comes in, if they have one. Not all of them has them. Just one that doesn't have it. So they are quite fun to fight as well, if you manage to get there. That is, you should be able to get it. I mean, it's not that difficult to find that epic foe. Well, you don't really find it; it just comes on, and it's all pretty straightforward from there. So there you have it. That was my review of Tiny Epic Defenders. What do I think of this? Well, it's an easy game to learn, it's a quick game to learn, and it's a very simple game to learn. There's no dice what needs to be involved, it's just whatever happens, happens. That's it. So you just, oh, okay, so I defended that, take damage. I didn't defend that, that takes damage. It's just that. So and eventually, even when you played it once, you could play it again and again and again, and it'll be a lot more quicker the second time around. And I like the idea of where you can just, well, not where you can, it tells you to remove some of the cards and being placed into the box, which means each time it's going to be a little bit more different. And you can even randomize the locations as well if you really want to. I mean, that's what I tend to do anyway, just shuffle and just look away, just casually place them down. I say the word casually, more like reckless placing them down, but there you go, that's just me. I have to say that the bosses that you get in there is quite nice as well. You get a nice selection of defenders. I mean, seriously, it's a game without dice, and it does it quite well. So, how am I going to rate this? Okay. Well, this is where it comes into a little bit interesting, because it is pretty easy and it is pretty simple. It's not really a rocket science kind of thing. It's not going to wow everyone. I mean, the item meeples are quite nice. If you manage to get some, I mean, you might even just get about 3, 4 or even 5. It all depends on how many players you are playing. Yeah, I mean, well, the least number of players, the quicker the game it is. And if you want to play just a quick, simple game, this is a game to go for. I mean, even with 4 players, it's not that hard just to pick up and just play, and it doesn't have a lot of stuff in it, so that's quite nice. You just shuffle, deal with it, and then just play. I mean, that's it. It's pretty easy. Is it one of those games that you could just want to just go ahead and play? Hey, you know what? Tiny Epic Defenders is right into my head, and I want to play it again and again and again. I mean, there are other games that you could play if you have them. So why I do like this, I'd probably say it's not one of these games that you just want to carry on and playing again and again. So but it is one of these games that you just play out on a whim kind of thing. So I'll definitely have to give this one a 7 out of 10. It is don't get me wrong, it is a good game. I do want to rate it higher, but I don't think I could rate it any lower actually. So that's how I'm going to rate it. 7 out of 10. It's a cheap, simple, fun, quick game. That's it. So as always, thank you very much. Bye.